Migrating CloudBees Jenkins platform to CloudBees CI. The CloudBees Jenkins platform has been around since November 2016, and its end of life has been declared for June 30th, 2023. In this video, we are going to migrate a CloudBees Jenkins platform controller to a CloudBees CI controller. The link to this documentation that we have up on the screen is down in the description. Follow along with me as we go through it. So there are some items that you should do to get ready for the migration. Number one is to open an assisted update with CloudBees support. This will help you get a custom plan put together for your environment. The second step is to make sure that your CloudBees Jenkins platform is on the latest version of the Operations Center and the controllers. However, in this video, I'm actually going to do an upgrade in place from an older version of CloudBees Jenkins platform to a matching version of CloudBees CI. And then finally, like any other type of upgrade, always make sure that you back up your Jenkins home directory before doing any kind of upgrade processes. Now let's go ahead and scroll down and take a look at how we're going to migrate the client controller instance from CloudBees Jenkins platform to CloudBees CI. The first thing that we're going to do is stop the process. As soon as we're finished stopping that process, I am going to back up my Jenkins home. Now in the example that I'm doing here, I'm not going to back up the Jenkins home because I don't have any data that I need to keep. But basically I want to stop the service first, make sure I don't have any locks on any files in that Jenkins home directory, and then I'm going to back that up off of this machine. The second main point is that we're going to go ahead and upgrade the client controller to CloudBees CI. Third, we're going to rename some folders, set some permissions. And then fourth, we're going to start the new process and verify that everything is working as expected. And then fifth, we're going to go ahead and uninstall our CloudBees Jenkins platform version of the controller. So let's go back up to step one. Let's go ahead and change over to our shell here. Now I am SSH'd into my controller. I'm actually running on CentOS 7.9, and the version of the controller that I'm running is 2.346.2.2. You can tell that I'm running CloudBees Jenkins platform because the banner says CloudBees Jenkins Enterprise. We'll see that change as soon as we upgrade to CloudBees CI. So the first step that we're going to do is we are going to stop the service. So I'm going to say service Jenkins stop. So when the CloudBees Jenkins platform was installed on this machine using Yum, the service that was created was actually called Jenkins. So we'll go ahead and type this and stop. And just to verify that we're actually stopped, we'll make sure that we don't see the process running, which it's not, which is what we would expect. Now it's also at this point, I would do a full backup of my Jenkins home directory. By default, that's in /var/lib/Jenkins. You may have made a change to that location in your etc sysconfig. Now speaking of etc sysconfig, I've made some changes in my etc sysconfig that I'm going to need to migrate over to the CloudBees CI installation once I have completed installing. So let's go back over to our instructions. So at this point, we've stopped the service and we have backed up our Jenkins home directory, which again, by default is /var/lib/Jenkins. Now let's go ahead and install the client controller. I'm going to open this tab up here and I'm going to click on CentOS. So the first thing that I'm going to need to do is make sure that I have the appropriate hardware and software requirements. Now the hardware requirements I'm fine with because I know I'm going to be running on the same machine. I've already tested it out. I know it's going to be okay. But what I don't have is Apple Release installed. So let's go ahead and install that now. So I'll say yum install Apple Release. Now in my case, it was already installed on the machine, so there was nothing to do, but it was a good thing to go ahead and verify that it's there because it will be needed later on. Number two is ensure that you've met all the JVM requirements. Now in my case, I'm running Java 8, and since I'm going to be moving from, in this case, 2.346.2.2 for the CloudBees Jenkins platform to CloudBees CI, that number is going to stay the same. That's still a safe version of Java to be running, Java 8. So we're not going to do anything with our Java version. We need to add the package manager repository. So when you installed the controller for the CloudBees Jenkins platform, that is in a different repository than where the CloudBees CI controller is. So let's go ahead and get our repo set up. So I'll copy this line. Now you notice I'm not copying the sudo because I'm already logged in as root. So I'm going to do wget for my repo, and then I need to add the key. So I'll copy this. And then before we do the installation, we need to do a yum update. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, if you're running on a different operating system to where you're using DNF instead of yum, go ahead and do DNF upgrade. but in my case, it's yum update. And what you'll notice here is that it pulled in the cloudbees-core-cm, which is the repository where our CloudBees CI controller lives. Now, what this is telling me here is I could go ahead and upgrade my controller from the CloudBees Jenkins platform version from 346.2.2 to 346.4.1. I don't want to do this upgrade. I don't need to do it, but I needed to run the update in order for the repositories to show up. So in this case, I'm going to say no. Next up at step 6, we need to do our installation. So we're going to say yum install cloudbees-core-cm. So let's go ahead and paste that in. And it's saying, okay, let's go ahead and make sure that you're going to be upgrading to 2.361.3.2. Well, in this case, that's wrong because I need to install a specific version of CloudBees CI. So I'm going to enter no. And in this case, I'm going to say cloudbees-core-cm dash, and our version was 2.346.2.2. So if we go back over here, I'm going to say 2.346.2.2. So let's see what happens here. Now I'm going to be installing the version that I really expected and really what I need, because I don't want to do a migration from CloudBees Jenkins platform to CloudBees CI with different versions of my controller. I want to stay same for this step. So I'm moving from CloudBees Jenkins platform 346.2.2 to CloudBees CI 2.346.2.2. So is this okay? Yes. And now our installation has completed. Let's see if it's running. It is running. So in my case, I want to go ahead and stop this from running. We can see that it's actually the CloudBees CI version because we see cloudbees-core-cm. So let's go ahead and stop this service. So cloudbees-core-cm, because I don't want anything running because I'm not finished setting this up yet. Remember I said I had some etc sysconfig changes that I need to migrate over from my CloudBees Jenkins platform controller to the CloudBees CI controller. But before we make those changes to the sysconfig, let's go back to our instructions. So we got the installation done. But let's go back over here. That was just step 2. So we stepped out of this main checklist over to the installation process. We've completed this. At the end, we stop the process from running. Now let's follow the instructions that we have here for doing our next step, number 3. We need to cd into varlib because we need to make a copy of the Jenkins directory from the old client controller into cloudbees-core-cm and change the ownership. Now, since our service started up automatically, we need to go into our cloudbees-core-cm directory and delete everything from inside the cloudbees-core-cm directory. Now, that lives by default inside of varlib cloudbees-core-cm. So let's cd into varlib. If we take a look at varlib, we've got our Jenkins directory and our cloudbees-core-cm directory. Let's go ahead and cd into cloudbees-core-cm. I'm going to remove everything that is in this directory. And I forgot to go ahead and include the R on there for recursive, so let's do that. Now let's see what's left. There are some items here that are garbage, so let's go ahead and remove these dot files. So last started, nectar.cache, and .java. And I also need to make this an R, so we'll do that here. Now if we take a look inside of cloudbees-core-cm, nothing is there. If we take a look again at our processes, again, our CloudBees CI process is not running, and neither is our CloudBees Jenkins platform process running. So again, we want to make sure everything's shut down and not running. So let's go ahead and make a copy of our Jenkins folder contents into cloudbees-core-cm. So let's go ahead and move up one layer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy everything from inside of the Jenkins directory into cloudbees-core-cm. So we're in varlib. There's our copy rf Jenkins everything into cloudbees-core-cm. Now, depending on how large your Jenkins home directory is, this could take a little bit. Now, mine's pretty small, so it was pretty fast. Then let's cd into cloudbees-core-cm. And then we need to change the ownership recursively of everything inside that directory to cloudbees-core-cm. And just to verify that, we can see now that everything is owned by cloudbees-core-cm. Now, the next step is to go ahead and start up the instance. But I'm not ready to do that because remember, I had made changes to my etc sysconfig for my previous CloudBees Jenkins platform controller. I need to migrate those changes over into my sysconfig file. That's new for the CloudBees CI controller. So let's go back into our shell And let's take a look at etc sysconfig cloudbees-core-cm. Now in my case, I've made changes inside of my Jenkins options. So we're almost there. Here we go. Jenkins Java options to be specific. And I'm going to grab my line and copy it into place. So you can see what I'm doing here and how you might need to make some changes even to this. So we'll paste this in and I'll close the double quote at the end. So the default value was just headless equals true. In my case, I've disabled the high availability mode, but I've also specified a temp dir, a very specific temp dir. And you can see that it's in var cache cloudbees-core-cm temp. Now, when the process starts, it's not going to find that temp directory and therefore the process will fail. So I will need to go into my var cache cloudbees-core-cm directory and create a temp directory there and make sure that it has the correct permissions. I've also disabled the no full upgrade on Beekeeper, and I've set my time zones to New York. So out of this line, I need to go over and make sure that the temp directory exists. I have one more change. I'm going to go to the bottom, and in my Jenkins args, I have set up a plugin root. Now, plugin root is where when a controller starts, when it sees a new plugin, this is where it will expand the HPI or JPI file into. That way, when you look inside of your Jenkins Home plugins directory, all you see are just JPI files or HPI files and not the exploded directories of those plugins. So let's go ahead and paste that in. And you can see here the location for my plugin root is var cache cloudbees-core-cm plugins. Now, unlike that temp directory to where I was setting the temp dir, this directory I do not have to manually create. It will be created automatically for me. This is because the plugin root is a known Jenkins process and Jenkins attribute, whereas the attribute I set for the temp directory is just using java.io.tempdir. So let's go ahead and save this. Let's cd over to var cache cloudbees-core-cm. If we take a look here, the only thing we have right now is a war file. So I'm going to say make dir tmp, but notice that it's still owned by root. So I need to go ahead and change the ownership of that to cloudbees-core-cm, cloudbees-core-cm for temp. We'll verify this one more time, and that looks good. So now at this point, we're ready to go ahead and start up our controller. So I'm going to go back into my home directory, which in this case happens to be /root. I'm going to use systemctl. I'm going to verify that everything is still down and looks okay. So cloudbees-core-cm. If we take a look at this, the service is down, it's loaded, which is what we would expect, but it's inactive. So let's go ahead and start our controller process. Let's go back and check our status. We can see that it's starting up, and we see that it's active. Let's watch our log to see what it looks like. So cloudbees-core-cm-f. We're waiting on this to complete the start. Now we see that Jenkins is fully up and running. Now, if we come back over and take a look at our controller, we haven't refreshed this page yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is just refresh the page. Notice in the upper left-hand corner, we see CloudBees Jenkins Enterprise, and in the bottom right, we see CloudBees Jenkins Enterprise. When we do the refresh, we'll get a login screen because we've replaced everything. So this is to be expected. And when we log in, what we expect to see now is CloudBees CI client controller. And also down in the lower right-hand corner, we see CloudBees CI client controller 2.346.2.2. And from this point forward, using the information that you received from CloudBees support for your assisted update, you would follow this process and finish upgrading any other CloudBees Jenkins platform instances that you may have. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on Twitter at CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.